all of you here at the Abbey know how much I love cooking for the community. Not a surprise, I bounce up and down like a delighted squirrel. And I trained in cooking and baking, but I've never worked in a commercial kitchen. I'm just a hobby cook. And my first visit to the Abbey was 3 years ago this month. And I was absolutely fine. No, I was an absolute mess. And Venerable Pema came up and said, I hear you're a baker. I said, yeah, I am. He said, do you know how to make Danish? I said, yeah, I do. So we proceeded to make Danish, and it was like I knew I was home. You know, I just, and we have been baking together every visit since. So at lunch on my last visit in March, Venerable Chodron said, you know, is it annoying to deal with all these food restrictions? And there's so many. I mean, y'all have just every kind of food restriction. You know, there's the vegans and the gluten-free people and the no peppers and the no pretty much anything you can name. And at this point, I know who likes what kind of food. I know what things I can make, but it's really probably impossible to make a single meal that everybody's gonna be excited about. Um, and so to my own surprise, I honestly, no, it doesn't bother me at all. Cooking here brings me enormous joy. And these aren't a list of food restrictions, they're people I love. And so I find I can remember the food chart and I check and I try to make sure there's at least one tasty thing for everybody. And you know, a while back I made guacamole and I forgot to make two and there was lemon in it and felt awful that I had not made something somebody wanted to eat. It was, I'm still working on that. Um, so Venerable then looked at me and said, you should give a BBC on that. The ground did not open up and swallow me as much as I asked it to. I couldn't hide behind my tea mug, and I've made a commitment to myself when I come here that I will do whatever I'm asked to do with joyful effort. And that I don't always succeed, but that really is my goal. And if my teacher asks me to do something, I am going to do it. So I am now standing between you all and lunch. So last November, I got to cook for the Vinaya course, and I handled the main meal with guidance from Venerable Monlam, with help from volunteers, but it was the most amazing experience to cook for 60 people. I was exhausted at the end of every day, but every night I went to sleep knowing that I had done my absolute best. I had not, like there was nothing better that I could have done that day. And that's a wonderful feeling. I don't think a lot of us get that in our lives. Every day for 10 days, I did the best job I know how to do, and I loved it. And what surprised me was things that in my day life, I would have refused. I just did. Pizza for 60 people? Yep. Lunch for 60 turns into 85? Not a problem. And I was not irritated at all. Like, I was really happy to do it. So I had to sit with that because most of the time I am not a patient person. I am cranky and irritable, and I do not like special requests, and I take criticism very poorly. So when I started kind of working on this, like, why is it that I'm different here? Why is it that here, those things are not true? I'm pretty patient, and I am grateful for criticism. So why is that? On my first couple of visits, if I look at my motivation, I didn't want to be a good guest. I wanted to be the best guest. I wanted to be the guest better than any other guest. And if I cooked for you and I baked for you, maybe you'd all like me because I really wanted you to like me. But over time, this is what, like my 8th visit or something in 3 years, that's really faded. It now, like, I'm very happy when people like what I make. I'm really happy if somebody's shift in the kitchen goes better because I was there. But it does seem to be coming from a place of genuine care and wanting to repay kindness. And like yesterday with the panettone, it hit me right in the 8 worldly concerns because it was beautiful. But most of the time, it really is just about repaying the kindness. So that leads me back to the question of what's different about the Lisa here at the Abbey and the Lisa in the rest of my life. And I got to, like, there's no amorphous since beginningless time. You people have been kind to me. You're kind to me right now. You're kind to me all the time. You're kind to me when I write to you with questions. You're kind to me when I'm here. Um, so I, working around the restrictions, well, that's not a problem because you're all my friends. And then I saw Venerable going, I like them because they're nice to me, right? How often have I seen that, right? This is not an inspiring or revelatory Dharma experience. I like people who are nice to me. Thank you for my BBC. So I started looking back at what happens when people I don't have a caring relationship have special requests get in my way. And it turns out I'm not so great about it. There was a fast food restaurant that had the jingle, special orders don't upset us. I am not the Burger King. If you come to me with a special order, it will probably annoy me. And, while I was working on the talk, one of my clients asked me and this client deals with very disorganized vendors. I had sent them a beautifully organized spreadsheet, and they wanted other stuff. And the cranky was powerful. And it wasn't even like it was too difficult. It's just, look what I gave you. What is your problem with that? But I did it, and it was fine. It was not that big a deal. I treated myself a couple nights after that to some Chinese food on DoorDash. And the driver got lost. And I'm watching the driver in the app going everywhere. And I am hungry, and I'm irritated, and the driver keeps getting lost, and I have no way to correct this. And in neither case was I unkind out loud, but my interior voice was very unkind. So I'm taking the win because there was a time when my exterior would have been unkind. So the fact that now I am holding it in, but that's not compassion, that's just not being a jerk. There is a difference, so I am told. And so I'm not that good yet at equanimity. I'm good with people I care about, I'm good with people in my life, but otherwise I can still be pretty irritable and impatient. So I started working on, like, if my compassion only applies to friends and when it benefits me, that's not getting me toward bodhicitta. That's not a Dharma motivation. That's, the crows outside that I feed are nice to me because I feed them. This is not a Dharma thing. So if I really do aspire to bodhicitta, what do I do with my mind and body that is lagging behind this? How do I bring that up? And I have been working with the antidotes to this. And I started with, can I apply everyone was my mother? Well, like a lot of people, I had a fraught relationship with my mother. And she died in October, and I'm very grateful that thanks to a lot of good BBCs and conversation with Venerable Semke, I was able to work through that. I was able to be there and be kind to my mother and have conversations with her before she died. And in the last couple of years of her life, I really feel like I was kind. But it doesn't inspire me to warm-heartedness. So I got this great idea. I thought, well, I'm just going to start imagining that the people who cut me off in traffic or the people who ask for special things are monastics. They're in robes because I'm nice to them. So I tried that, and it felt icky. These people are not monastics. It felt so wrong. I almost had to shower afterwards. I did a bad Buddhist thing. So that didn't work. And then I thought, but His Holiness has talked about the Chinese being his teachers, and that, like, maybe all these people are my teachers. Maybe I can look at these people, if I'm really working on overcoming my attitudes and my negative attitudes and building my positive attitudes, these people are teaching me. If I can catch myself before I make a rude hand gesture at a driver, I drive a lot, I'm sorry, then that's good. If I can get to the point where I don't want to, that's better. So I'm really trying to work with that now and see how that goes, and I'm sure you will all be getting questions from me as I see what does and does not work. But the thing that has surprised me as I worked through this is that the Lisa here, the way I am here, shows me that my impatience and irritability and crankiness are not permanent. I can remove them. They're not, they may be baked in from this birth, but I can remove them. I want to be more in the world the way I am here. I want to bring who I am here with all of you out into the rest of my life. And if I can do that, then I will have moved my practice forward so much. And I want to thank you, Venerable, for asking me to do this. Because not 20 minutes earlier in the kitchen, I had said that my great fear was that Venerable would someday ask me to give a BBC, and then you did. So she can hear you wherever you are. She can hear you. She wasn't even in the building. We were in silence. No, she can hear you. But I'm very grateful for it because it made me really look at these things, and I had time to sit with them and examine them. And I want to thank all of you for the care you give me and for inspiring me to be this Lisa and not that Lisa. So thank you very much.